All right. Well, seems and we're just here a couple hours ago with the game last night, but wrap that up and decent weekend for us. Good regulation win last night. Kind of battled through it. I really liked a lot of positives out of the weekend in terms of how our guys worked and we're finally got some pucks in the net last night, which was nice and some good feedback, good win, and moves us into a short week here, and spent today mostly just we met with the guys, went over a few things, and had a quick workout. Get our rehab, get our nutrition, get our rest, get all that stuff started, and we'll be back at it Friday night. And as Governor Engler likes to call this, it's Michigan State Week. So that's what we're working on, and be an exciting week. And hey, another weekend in the Big Ten will be another tough series, and the guys are looking forward to it.
All right, just go ahead and put your questions in the chat. Scott, go ahead.
Yeah, Coach, how are you? Obviously, Michigan's still missing a couple of guys due to the World Juniors, and I don't know if they're going to be able to play this weekend. How do you adjust your mindset? Because obviously, with the timing, you didn't know if guys like Matt Beniers or Brendan Brisson were going to be there for the first couple of games. How do you adjust? Do you have to adjust your play a little bit because those guys are real offensive threats?
Yeah, no. Obviously, those guys are good players, and I just always assume that everyone's going to be playing, whether it's a World Junior thing or an injury thing, and we'll prepare for them the way that we'll prepare. And if they play, fine. If not, it won't affect their play. You know what? They've got a lot of offensive firepower, and they're going to play the way they play. So systematically for us, maybe some matchups and all that we'll look at, but overall we'll prepare the same way, and they'll have most of their team there. We'll have most of our team here, and it should be a good series.
Kyle.
Yeah. Is there any status update on Tommy and his health for this weekend, or are you not sure yet?
Yeah, no, not sure. I mean, it was, hey, today, like I said, today's just a rehab day. I'm hopeful. I'm always hopeful that guys will be available, but what the medical people let us know, and he's a tough kid, and yeah, we'll see where that's at the end of the week.
Neil.
Dan, do you see any much differences in Michigan's play from this year, from last year, despite the fact that they got so many new players up front and a lot of time that takes to get the right chemistry going?
Well, I mean, looks chemistry wise, they've got some high end guys there, and a lot of NTTB guys that quite frankly have played together before. But no, they move the puck well. They offense, they've got some good IQs out there, and you have to do a good job defending them. So I think there's some similarities. I think Mel does a nice job with the team, and the way they play through the neutral zone and they play offensively, and then it's putting guys in position. But they have a lot of, like I said, they've got a lot of playmakers, guys that can make good plays, and you have to take care of that. So there's some similarities. A couple guys I had with the NTDP, some big heavy defensemen graduated last year, but they filled in with some young guys that can really can move the puck. So I think they'll present a lot of the same challenges they did last year.
From your experience, Dan, with USA Hockey, when those guys come back from a long tournament like this, how do they usually react and play the first couple of weeks? Or is there much of a, layover as far as like what they've been going through, and does that affect their game?
Yeah, we had, on the odd occasion, we'd have a double underager from our team leave and go play. And you know what, it's depending on how tonight goes, and obviously you guys know where my allegiances lie in tonight's game, but sometimes you can come back on a pretty good high from that and play pretty well. And but it is it's a tough tournament. But you know what, if they come out of that well, they've played real well, they're in the gold medal game, and you can get a little bump out of that. I know with the guys we had younger guys coming back, that were 17 years old. We'd usually give them the weekend off, even, and they'd want to play. I mean, guys, they come back and they want to play. But our season, wasn't wasn't based on these games right now. They'd have just been league games in USHL. So, but I imagine if we were in a situation like they are, and guys are coming back and they're available to play, that we'd play them. And like I said, guys want to play, and they're older, and they know how to handle it. So I'm sure if they're available, they'll play.
Sam.
Hi, I was wondering if you had any update on Goodsir and Hodges, and if you maybe expect them to be back in the lineup for this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, kind of same as Tommy. We're we'll just wait and see where we're at, and I don't go into medical stuff online for or in print. Just as a rule. So, hopefully as guys are available, that gives us some more decisions to make. But, right now we're hopeful, and we'll see where we're at on Friday.
Audrey.
You knew that weeks like this were coming in terms of a jam-packed schedule just because of everything that's happened this year. But now that you're actually in it, how do you feel about it, knowing, that the two games that you just had with Penn State and now going into this rivalry matchup with a team like Michigan?
No, yeah, I like it. And, we waited a long time to play some games, and this isn't bad. We were done yesterday before 6, we're almost 24 hours post that. It'll be 48 hours really before we have a good practice. So guys, we'll have plenty of rest, no excuses that way. And, our prep time before last series was pretty good, and it's a little short this week, but energy and emotion will help us through that. But no, the guys like it. We like playing games. We want to get moving. We had 20 this half. Now we got 18 left, and we've got our schedule, and we'll deal with it. But for us, I think it's exciting, and guys are looking forward to playing games. And school doesn't get going until January 19th, so that's their focus right now is staying in the bubble and keep taking care of our health and playing hockey games. So it's a fun time for these guys.
And you guys obviously had a lot of improvement from Sunday to yesterday. And if you could take one thing away from the 5-1 win that you'd like to carry over on into this series with Michigan, what would that be in a sense with the pace of play? Or obviously, getting the puck in the back of the net was nice. But I mean, what are some things that you'd like to carry?
Hey, we had a little puck luck yesterday where we didn't the day before. And that was quite the difference. But the thing I liked probably the most that'll be important carrying through is just sticking with certain things that work and not getting frustrated, and you can get, offensively, we don't score on, trying to get my day straight here. It used to be easy. It was always Friday or Saturday, but on Sunday, I think I had us for 17, 18 scoring chances. And normally that would have been good enough to win the game, because some of those will go in, and then just to stick with it and just to have that mental fortitude and belief in how you do things and keep working. And I thought our guys did. And then the other thing is dealing with adversity. And, we have got a few guys out of the lineup, and then Tommy can't play. Then Charlie Combs, leading scorer, gets kicked out. And, there was some things they had to deal with. And that's what sports, it's always like that. And there's always something that unexpected happens. And this year, we've had a lot of it. So I like those things, and those are both mental strength things, and those will carry a long way.
Thank you.
Graham.
Yeah, Dan, wondering how much momentum of this series is really a thing. Like, I know you've had years where you've had big performances against Michigan, years where things have gone poorly and it seemed to carry over. Like, when you look at this series, does it stand out from any other in terms of the carryover and the importance of what comes out of it?
Yeah, it's hockey's weird that way with momentum. I think if you do start playing well and you get into a rhythm, I think that's a good way to put it, where it's good to get into that, where you're feeling good and you're getting some good positive feedback in games, and then your practices are a little better. So I think from that standpoint there is some, but I think it's probably a little bit more like baseball, where momentum is whoever's starting your next game for you, and but in hockey, look at it as a team thing, and it's how you approach it and how you show up to play. And the thing that's different with some of the Michigan games is you get the emotion part of it and having to control that. And sometimes you can get too emotional and that'll wear you out. And sometimes, you try and keep it so much in check that you come out a little flat. So, you want to find that sweet spot in that series, and you don't want to have it, so heated that it's Jason Mazzotti and Jim Cummins, the game down at Joe Louis. You don't want to be in that situation. But again, like I said, you want to guard against, both the extremes. Get it in the right spot, build your own momentum, and that's kind of the way I like to approach it. And Doc Rosen talks a lot about it in terms of when you're getting yourself mentally prepared and the way to approach it. You only control yourselves, and I think if you say, well, I'm going to get up, I'm really going to get up for this game, but then the next week I'm not going to get up, like that's not the way we want to approach these games. We really want to approach every game that it's a really big game. But that being said, you can't hide the emotions of a rivalry game like this. And I guess if I could teach anything to our guys is just, how much fun you should have in these. And it is a good battle, and they're a good hockey team, and we're a good hockey team. And you lay it on the line, and these are the kind of games that you remember, hey, years down the road. I remember, the Michigan games really, really well. And this is probably our most active alumni week with, calls and emails and guys looking forward to these games. So, it's a good thing. And it's something that we have in college sports that's unique, and you should enjoy it and get in the moment and have fun with it.
Scott.
Coach, after Charlie got kicked out yesterday, Jake Smith took a lot of shifts, it seemed like, with Josh and Louis. How'd you like the play of him yesterday, especially him not getting in a lot this year? And does that raise any more lineup questions this weekend?
Yeah, he did a great job. And, we had the seniors together as a line to start the game, and they did a really nice job for us. And then, with Charlie going out, then we kind of, we spun a few guys on that line. But no, it's, Schmidt, he skated well. He was physical. He made plays. He just did a lot of good things that helped us win a hockey game. He was confident out there. So, no, I really liked it. And the more hard decisions we have to make about lineups, the happier I am, because that means that we've got some guys that are all capable of playing. So sure, he made it hard on us, and but that's I've said it a lot. Players determine ice time, and their job is to make it as hard as possible on the coaching staff to decide who's going to play. So I give him a lot of credit. And you're right. He hasn't been in every night, and Kamer hasn't been, and Estevez hasn't. But every day they've practiced real well. They're a great example for our guys. They do things right in practice. We use them in a lot of different roles to get us prepped, and we've been telling those guys to stay ready. And when their chance comes, to make sure they make the most of it. And I thought all three of them did last night.
And then on defense, how have you liked maybe the past 4 games having 7 defensemen, obviously with Christian and Cole getting kicked out last series, but with Pal Connor being in and maybe splitting up the ice time a little bit more?
Yeah, no, it was kind of a bit of dumb luck that we dressed the 7. We wanted to get Powell in the game, and then we ended up losing a guy each night. So he picked up that ice time, and he's done real well. And it's credit to the guy to stay in the, involved and engaged and ready to jump in and play. But I think he's done an outstanding job. So, and it has taken, it's enabled us, as a right-handed defenseman to spot Dennis and Tommy Miller a little bit, which has been really, really valuable for us. And, he's got a little bit of offense to him. He's got a good hardness to him. I think he's got a lot of Jared Rosberg in him, and I think you'll see that type of development out of him. I think, before he's done here, he's going to play some real meaningful minutes for us. So that's worked out real well. And, it's not always ideal. I've run the D on a few different teams, and I always like 5 defensemen more than I like 6. It's just about the right. If you have the right 5 guys, it's really good. And then 7, it's a little hard on Lou sometimes mixing around. You don't want to give guys too much ice time, but you get too little and you get out of your rhythm as a defenseman. But no, it's been great. It's worked out real well, and he's given us a lot of good hard minutes.
All right, a couple more here. Neil and then Audrey.
Yeah, and you talked about the Smith line, the senior line, and how they played. Anybody else, after you looked at the video of the game and discussed it with your coaches, anybody else stand out from the weekend, especially last night?
Yeah, you know what? There was a lot of guys. I think like last night again, we you know, you lose a guy like Tommy Apap, and there's a lot of valuable minutes in those situations that guys have to jump up, and you know, and then that's face-offs and penalty killing and checking responsibilities. And you know, I think Mitch Matson, you know, bumped up, probably played more than he had in a long time, and had some harder matchups. Nico Mueller, just, you know, we moved him into center a couple weeks ago. And just to get Kristoff on the wing and maybe take a little of defensive responsibility, which isn't unusual. That happens a lot with freshmen, and in pro hockey, it happens a ton with young guys when they first come into the NHL. So, but Nico and like I said, they both got different matchups defensively than they had the night before, they had in the past, and I think they did a really nice job of that. And you know, Jagger scored a couple goals. I think that helps him feel better. But you know, I think he's played pretty well, and I always try and get guys to evaluate their games. You know, you can score, you know, one goes in off your back and one goes in off your shin pad, and you have 2 goals. That doesn't mean you played a good game, and you could have no points and play a really, really good game. So, you know, from an evaluation standpoint, you have to be better than just looking at your stat line. So, but no, I thought all those guys, you know, did a nice job, and you know, filled in for Tommy, and you know, did a little extra work on the penalty kill, and you know, had to take some face-offs, and you know, and like I said, you don't replace those guys, but you hope to replace the parts, and they did a nice job filling in for that.
And then after Powell Connor made his mistake on Saturday, how do you think he responded playing yesterday?
I thought he played great, and you know, I talked to him a little bit about it, and you know, he's got a good confidence about him. And I said, hey, the one way to evaluate it is, you know, hey, there was 2 minutes to go in the game, and we had you out on the ice in a 1-0 game in a big, you know, in a big league game, very important game for us. You know, starting the second half. So I go, that's how you got to look at it. You're going to make mistakes your whole life. Hockey is a game of mistakes. I can, you know, give me 5 minutes of Wayne Gretzky's video, and we can find 50 things he did wrong, but they, you know, the good ones understand that, and you have to live with those mistakes. And that was a tough one. That's not neat, you know, a 1-0 game, and you flub a pass like that. But I thought he handled it real well. He played well the rest of that game, which is good to see. And then I thought yesterday he jumped right back in. He was fine. So that's impressive.
Audrey, last one. Go ahead.
Just about the alumni, you mentioned you had some activity this week, maybe phone calls or along those lines. Are you going to be able to try to accommodate some alumni at the game on Saturday, or not? Or I guess just what are those conversations been like?
Yeah, we're still here at Munn. We're still just immediate family is what we're dealing with. So yeah, it's a little hard. We're hoping maybe at some point. You know, I know the 15th is when they're going to reevaluate things. So yeah, we're kind of cautiously optimistic, but we're waiting around like everyone else, and hopefully there'll be some limited opening up at some point. But yeah, if we did, that would be great. I know guys would love to come out to games, and I keep getting the same calls from friends and family, and you know, can we come? Can you sneak? Oh, you're the head coach. You can sneak us in, can you? And it's like, yeah, no, those things aren't happening. But it was nice. It was good having some family around and some people, and you know, you did get a little bit of cheering, and you know, felt okay. But you know, I'm anxious to have Munn, you know, filled up and exciting, and the students back, and that'll be when we know we've got through something. So
yeah, definitely not the same. That's for sure. So all right, thank you.